This is it, guys. Now is the time to truly start to prepare for what's coming.
Yes, my lion. Young and uprising. Come and say, take it to the world, take it to the world. Take the gospel to the world. Young and uprising. Come and say, take it to the world, take it to the world. Take the gospel to the world. Yes, my lion. Young and uprising.
The mandatory job is now looking inevitable, and here's why. Very soon changes are going to take place by any means necessary. It says that about 80% of the people who refuse to take the vaccine claims that they are waiting for the FDA approval before they can take the jab. What a lot of people who took the jab don't know is that this was merely an experiment. Basically a test run, and that's whether you want to believe it or not. I mean, who would like to be told that they are going to be used as a lab rat or a guinea pig? They can't tell you that, obviously, because the large amount of people that they will need for the experiment obviously will not show up, and they need a large amount of people. So then what they do, they turn the situation into an emergency. They spike up the numbers and make it look like as if right now it's a matter of life and death. Right now it's very difficult to trace who was in contact with who, obviously, once the number just spike. Basically to raise the fear levels and cause all forms of distraction, and then say use the jab only in the case of an emergency until they are FDA approved. And during this process is basically create more emergencies to get more people to take the jab, to allow companies to issue mandatory vaccines on their workers or force them to take it because of the love of money and the fear of loss, when they very well know that they don't care anything about you. As long as my business looks safe, that way you. Listen to this. Just before the sudden spike in the numbers, I was offered a job, a good pay monthly. It's a 4-year contract. I check in. As much as I don't really want to work for people again full time, I just check in, well, things are a little slow, and besides it's basically temporary because it's only 4 years. Let me see if I can save a little change, maybe for about 2 years, you see, and see how much of that loan that I can pay off, if not all. It was not to be totally dependent on it, but just to say, a steady income coming in. See if it would help me move a little faster heading forward. So I was asked to bring in a CV. I brought in a CV, and they asked me how soon can I start. I said, give me 2 weeks. There's a few things that I want to settle on first. So I went and I spoke to all my active clients. Let them know that they might start to see me a little less soon. But I never cancel any of my ongoing projects, because as far as I'm concerned, I had a similar experience about 3 months prior. I was offered a job. This one would have been about a 3-year contract. I was asked to send in my CV. Up to now, I can't hear from nobody. I know they won't look for the job, So who's to say that the same thing cannot happen again? Here it is, I end up going and cancelling all my private project, and next thing, the job never come through. My first meeting was quite interesting. There was a few things that we spoke about. We spoke about the position that they want me to hold on the project and the different things that they want me to do. Finally, the meeting ends and they telling me that the only thing they need from me right now is a CV. When I sent in my CV, I asked for the 2 weeks, which was basically the next day. Now, at the end of the 2 weeks led to our first lockdown weekend or curfew. And when I say first, I mean during the so-called wave that we're experiencing right now. The shock in the numbers and the sudden lockdown, I already knew changed the atmosphere for the people already. So I didn't expect to receive a call, nor was I planning on giving them any call. So we gone through the weekend of that first lockdown. We started the week through curfew, that first week On Thursday morning, I'm receiving a call. The company, we are going to need you to start urgently by Monday next week. We assume that you have more than enough time to settle on your few things. Can you show up for a meeting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.? I say, okay, no problem. Next morning, I head to the meeting. So basically in the meeting, I'm being told why I am needed urgently. The boss is leaving the island for 2 weeks, and we needed to take his place to begin with upon his return. Upon his return, you'll get into the original plan we discussed. Now listen to this before you go. This is a high-end international company, and we cannot allow nothing to disrupt this operation. We have all seen the sudden rise in the COVID cases on the island. We want to assume that a responsible professional like yourself has already been vaccinated. I said, no sir, I am not vaccinated. And with all due respect, I don't plan to get vaccinated, neither. He then said, well, if you want this job, then you're going to have to get vaccinated sooner or later. We have already issued a letter to all our staff letting them know that they all have to get vaccinated. However, we'll give you some time to think about it. We'll be bringing in our own private doctor to issue the shot to our workers very soon. Basically, all are already in favor. What I need you to do for me is make up your mind that you'll take the shot. But in the meantime, first thing Monday morning, I need to see a negative COVID test results to move forward. We cannot have any threat operating on this project. I say, well, okay, sir, no problem. I'll see what I can do for you. Well, Monday reach, a whole week pass, next weekend pass, and look, today is Monday again. They may be saying to themselves, I must have taken the test, it come out positive and I'm in quarantine. Hey, this is just the tip of the iceberg of all things are going to unravel in this world very soon, very, very soon. Now, maybe a month ago, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, I wasn't really keeping track, but I came across the news that I heard Joe Biden said that as soon as the FDA approved the vaccine, that he is going to issue mandatory vaccine for all working people. Because right now, by law, it cannot be done if it is not approved. You cannot mandate something that is not FDA approved. You cannot mandate a drug that is not FDA approved. Interesting. You must ask yourself, why is that? For now, it can only be used for emergencies. Now today, I came across the news again. Today is the 23rd of August, 2021. Just to let you know. Because more than likely, this video is not going to come out today. It might come out tomorrow or the next day. You never know. Never know what happened. But the news said that the FDA just approved the Pfizer jab. And almost instantly, they started to roll out the mandates. In fact, the latest news again says it plainly. Vaccine mandates move ahead after FDA approval of Pfizer shots. You can research it. You can search it. Google it. And this is basically why I said in the beginning that the mandatory jab is now looking inevitable. Because we know that whenever the States, America does something, the world tend to follow. It's always a follow the leader type of thing. So prepare yourself, people, because it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. There's going to be a mandatory call for everyone to go and take the shot. And don't just think it's only the adults and the working class, but they are also going to target your children. To begin with, they're going to start at the age of consent to cause division. They will bring it in the schools for the children 16 and over. They will say, well, if they're free to choose to have sex, then they're free to choose whether or not they want to take the vaccine. And their parents are not allowed to choose for them. Because they know that any age below the age of consent, that means the parent can choose whether or not they want their child to take the vaccine. Eventually, what they're going to do is lower that age for the child to make their own decision. More than likely, bring it either to the age of 12 or to the age of 10 to get more control over your children. Age 16, that's the age you start college, by the way, for a lot of people. So if you're smart, you know what that means. If you want your children to go to college, then your children have to take the job. And if your children wants to go to college, they too have to take the job. It goes both ways. It's without a doubt that it's going to be mandatory in college and in schools. Any school that houses children 16 years and above is definitely going to be mandatory. Just think about how this mandate is going to affect you and prepare yourself for what's coming. Preparation have everything to do with the mind, by the way. Because all this is basically a distraction. It's all a distraction, people, just so that you lose focus. You lose focus on the bigger picture. Anyway, people, you never know what this is going to escalate into. So just be on guard. And that's about it for this video. This has been Young and Uprising. My name is Lawrence Jerome. Thank you guys for watching. I share on personal development, finance and money related issues, spiritual growth, among other related things. So if those are topics that you're interested in, then feel free to subscribe and click that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. All in all, I'd like to thank you guys once again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.
Yes, my lion. Young and uprising. Come and say, take it to the world, take it to the world. Take the gospel to the world. Young and uprising. Come and say, take it to the world, take it to the world.